Hey. What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back to the Papa Black Podcast. I'm just actually waiting on C-Dawg to hit the link and come on in. So y'all give us a few seconds. Hopefully he'll be here in a minute. Hopefully. Man, I'm disappointed in my Lakers, man. Y'all know I'm a diehard LeBron fan, and boy, this season I went straight to hell. Look like we ain't gonna even make this play-in tournament. And I've been trying to get another Laker fan to come in and tell me how they would do this offseason. Because this offseason got to, hey man, and I don't know how we're gonna make no changes because we kind of strapped. But hey man, we'll see. I'm trying to see if they really need to trade Russell and Anthony Davis. I don't know. But we waiting on C-Dawg to come on in. You know, I had to start it live because it's set up on Facebook too, and Facebook only give you, I think, 5 or 10 minutes to go live when you're coming through StreamYard. So, but if he ain't here in the next few minutes, I'll probably reschedule or something. Hold on, this might be him texting me. No, that wasn't him. I might have to call him and see what's the problem. For whoever that is, well, I'm just waiting on C-Dawg to hit the link and come on in the studio. I might call him and see where he at. Matter of fact, let me call him and see what's going on with him. He might have got tied up or something. Okay, well, I just talked to him. He finna come on. He said he forgot. I kind of figured that. So give us a couple of seconds. As soon as he hit the link, we'll come right to it. We'll get right to it. You know, I'm dealing with superstars now, so you know these players are superstars, so they got a busy schedule. He don't forget that we were doing the live today. So as soon as he hit the link, we'll get started. Everybody having a happy Monday. Everybody Monday good. And I see somebody just staring at me. Won't y'all communicate with me? Ask me something or something, y'all. Y'all sit here staring at me and I can't even see who you are. I probably know who it is. Oh look, they done jumped off. They scared because I said something about send me or answer me or something, or speak or something. But for the people that's gonna see this on on the on the recording, you know what I mean, y'all just be patient. I could go back out and come back in, but then it'll be a whole nother link, and I don't want to do all that. So y'all just be patient. Oh, I see. I got another like. I didn't even know nobody was looking at me, but I appreciate the like. And for the people that's looking at me, I'm just waiting on C-Dawg to come on in, and once he come on in, we'll get started with the interview. He said he forgot about it. He had one with me today. So y'all give us a few minutes. We'll get started. I guarantee you it'll be worth the wait. And then I'm doing interviews with a lot of people that haven't gotten their break yet. You know what I mean? I know y'all see all the celebrities and all the superstars, but I like interviewing the underdogs, the people that never got their shine, or people that ain't as well known. You know what I mean? So as soon as he come on in, we'll get started with the interview. Sound like he had just got up when I called him, so y'all know these niggas are real players, so they have to make sure they on point. They don't want to look too crazy in front of y'all. So and I could go back out and start another live, but I don't want to go through all that because I know as soon as I cut this one off, he'll click on this one. Then I had to send him a whole nother link and all that good stuff. But he should be here in a minute. Then if y'all got any questions, send me the questions about anything while we wait on him. There we go. There we go. What's going on, big time?
Man, I can't call it, trying to get it in.
I told him you're a superstar now, so you know what I mean. I know superstars like to make their grand entrance. You know what I mean?
I take that. I take that.
Yeah, of course. How you doing today, Phil? You all right?
Hey, man, I'm messing around with these kids. They on spring break. That's what I was doing, being a dad.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I didn't realize it until I woke up this morning.
Look, that's how you don't know the kids on spring break? How you don't know? That's funny. How old are the kids,
man? 18, about to be 16 on the 18th, and 13. Yeah, Jackson, Kendall, and Corey, a boy and 2 girls.
A boy and 2 girls. How is it with that boy, man? Because I ain't got no boy.
Man, it's a whole different ball game, man. The boy, they done made him different, Black. I don't know what happened, but they done made him different. I'm like, I can be laid back and nonchalant. This joker got me beat. Like, he don't care about nothing.
Right. And then a lot of them don't have no motivation to do nothing because everything is so instant and so available to them, man.
Yes. Like 18, Black, tell me, what age did you have your license?
16. Man, I went to school late. When I turned 15 on my birthday. I went to school late when I turned 15 to get my learners. I went to school late when I turned 16 to get my license.
That dude.
I don't know how they do it.
He's 18, graduated in a couple months, ain't got no license.
Yeah, and then they not pressed for it. Like, that was a rite of passage for us.
Like, we tried to drive. Like, let me drive at 14 so I can get ready for my learners.
That's right.
Man, they different.
Like, my daughters are 31, man, and they didn't start driving until a couple of years ago. I was like, how in the hell do y'all? I don't get it.
Yep.
Hey, man. That's crazy, man. Then that was a rite of passage for us, man. But then again, a lot of the women don't make them do shit that made us men. Like taking out the trash, washing the car on Saturday, even though you can't drive. You took cleaning up their car because one day, boy, I'm gonna be in this motherfucker right here, boy. So
hey man, couldn't wait. So it was like it was almost like a privilege to be able to wash the car, though. In a sense.
Yes.
So they all the way. I mean, and I can't. I think we done made these kids this way in some way, shape, or form. So I can't put it all on them. But they different. They different.
So they definitely different.
I don't know if you're missing anything without having a boy, but because these girls, I wish somebody would have told me about the middle school attitude.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
they go through a transformation just like we do. Like the boys go through a transformation, but them girls do too. Yeah.
Man, I wouldn't read that middle school attitude had me. I almost punched one of them.
But I raised mine the same way we got raised, Phil. Like, they'll tell you I didn't play the radio, but I was fair.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I told them, look, I'm your dad. I don't care about being your friend, none of that shit. So, I'll be your friend if I can, but I'm gonna be your daddy first, and I take my job very serious.
Yeah, that whole friend thing, I never got that, and so, I even had some people my age talking about, no, you should be. I'm like, no, I would never put here to be your friend.
Right.
Like,
you ain't gonna never handle me like your friend either.
Right.
You gonna never handle me. Yeah, you can never handle me like you handle your friend. Hell no.
Oh, that's one time. So the middle girl, we sit down, and I don't know. I remember we watching TV. I don't know what we watching, and I say something to her, and she say, "Bruh." Man, I was like, I had to remember who I was, man. I mean, My hand got this close. It was coming fast. I called it, and I said, if you ever call me bro again.
Like how did everybody become bro?
I don't even know. Like that was a white term.
Yeah. I mean, like me and my brother used to do it, but you know, like I did it being funny, like bro, whenever I call him. But you know, that's how we started doing it. But they call each other bro. It went from them call each other bitch to them call each other bro. Then they call everybody bro. You know what I mean? Everybody. The people that you don't even know, you call them bro. Hey, bro. I'd be like, come on, man. Hey, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Day and age. Different day and age.
Yeah. All right, let's get started with the interview. Where you from, man? You from Atlanta?
ATL Decatur. Where's greater, Shawty? Southwest DeKalb, class of 90 and 91. I couldn't make it in the first year, so I got out on the second year of it.
Yeah, I feel you on that now. I graduated in 88. I got my GED in 94.
You know.
So they be like, class 88. Hey, nigga, I'm class 94, Bill. You know, North Southwest.
I know. We knew each other.
Oh, that's fine. I met him when he came to the camp, to Open Campus.
That's where I went.
Yeah. Oh, boy, I'm legendary at Open Campus.
Oh, dude.
Oh, my God. Phil, let me tell you something, man.
It was the best and worst thing that happened to me. You gave me that.
Yes. It was too much freedom, man. Too much freedom.
I wasn't ready.
I went over there one class behind and ended up not walking with my class.
Yeah, I remember my daddy had to straight up was like, "Nigga, if you don't like we done all this for you to," because I ended up having to make sure I had a car to get over there and all this, and it was like I remember he was like, "You think I played?"
Well, did you know Erica Hickman? She came out in class of 88.
Erica Hickman. I probably know the face.
Yeah, light skin, and she be at all the alumni events. Light skin, and she's silly. So, they used to call her back.
So with the camp, university.
Yeah. I remember. I just think y'all had a little money back in the day. Yeah,
we thought we was a bit above everybody else. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, y'all did. Yeah, y'all did. Y'all had some bad girls over there though. Y'all had some cute girls, but we did too. When I went to Garden too. When I went to Garden, Hey man, all the black schools did though. Garden,
yes,
Columbia,
yes, yeah. We was a little scared of. We ain't got Walker and Gordon and all that. Y'all had good bands though. I remember that.
Everybody had a good band. Everybody. Some of them was better than the other ones.
Y'all bands were better than ours back in the day. Yeah. We got better later on.
Right. Yeah. Cause my daughters, I think did both of my daughters go to Southwest? I know one of them did. I think both of them might have.
Mm-hmm. And you asked me how I didn't know my kids didn't have spring break. You don't remember what high school your daughter went to?
Because I know she transferred to Drew.
The charter school.
Yeah, charter school. Yeah, she transferred to Drew charter school. So I'm trying to see if she actually went to Southwest. If she did, she didn't go but a minute. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I let that slide.
All right, when did you start comedy?
1995, February of 1995. I don't remember the date. On a Tuesday night, Uptown Comedy Corner. JJ was actually hosting. I thought JJ had been doing. I'm like, this dude funny. I thought he was an old head in the game. And come to find out, come to find out, he had just been doing it. He had just made a year.
Like I remember when he first moved here.
Really?
Because I met him at Sharon's Secrets. Sharon's Secret used to be behind the Popeyes on Keller Road in the hotel. And when he came, because we was having an amateur contest, and when he came and he went up, I was like, "Hey, Bruce, who the hell is that?"
Yeah, I
said he can't be an amateur. And Bruce was like, "Man, he from Mississippi." He said he an amateur, man. And when I interviewed him, I asked him, I say, "Man, look, I always want to know this. when you first came to Atlanta and we met you at Sharon Secrets, was you really an amateur? And he just fell out laughing. He said, "Yeah, man, I was." He said, "I was intimidated by y'all."
Wow.
I was like, yo, I said, I could. Well, you can ask Bruce. The first day we saw you, I was like, "Hey, man, he cannot be a damn amateur. I don't care what he say." You know what I mean? He might be saying that because he just got here, but nah, hell nah. But he said he had just got started. I was like, hell nah.
Yeah, JJ was funny. Like JJ. Yeah. First one to hand me the microphone was JJ. Damn. Tuesday night. Here was the thing. So I don't know if you remember, I was deaf when I first started.
I remember you used to say something about it, but I didn't. I thought you were bullshit.
I was.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
really deaf. Man, so I did that. So what happened was, me and my homeboy, we used to go out. I forget what was the name of the club. It was on Marietta. Oh, they used to have a rap conference there. I can't remember, but they had a big parking lot. Anyway, I can't remember. World Bar? No, it was something else. I don't remember. Anyway, we used to fake like I was deaf, and he would be my translator.
That's funny. That's funny.
So he would go up to girls and he'd be like, "Hey, my boy deaf. He think you cute though. Would you talk to him?"
That is hilarious. I can see y'all doing that shit. I can see y'all doing it.
It was hilarious. But it used to work. And so, and man, so I was like, going on when I went on stage, I ain't really had no jokes because I went on stage on a dare. Okay. So let me go back a little bit. So me and Small Fry went to Southwest DeKalb.
Right.
Yeah. And so when we graduated, I think she went to school for a little bit, then she jumped in the game kind of like a couple years after we graduated.
Right.
And she was like, I remember she came home, was like, "Man, you should do it. You funny, you should do it." And for a whole year, every time we see each other, you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Then so one day we was at Run and Shoot, and she say to me, "Man, you scared. You a punk."
Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
And she was like, "You ain't no real man. You ain't." And I was like, "Okay." And then 2 weeks later, I was like, "I'm gonna do it." And I went and got on stage. I ain't have joke to the first. Wasn't prepared. Right. So I did the deaf boy, and it hit. My first time on stage, I had a good set. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Like that. Yeah. But man, you couldn't tell me that the birds was singing, the bells was ringing. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That was the highest high I ever had.
Right. Like I started November 30th, 1993 at the Comedy Act.
Yes.
And Mike had came down here, Mike Epps.
Yep.
And Mike heard me talk shit for about 10 minutes. Because see, Nard met him a week, he met him the Tuesday before, and he brought him to my house that weekend. And I told him that I wanted to do it because Nard called me like 2 weeks. He called me like 2 weeks that when he started 2 weeks before me. Yeah. And when he first called me, he was like, "Hey man, you ain't gonna believe where I went. You ain't gonna believe where I went." He was like, "Man, I went to open mic comedy." I was like, "Hold on, wait a minute, bro." I say, "That's something I would love to do." Boy, like, nigga, let's do this shit together. So the next week, he didn't call me either. But that's when he met Mike. And I think he got booed. Like the first week he had a good set. The second week he got booed because they put him up behind Doo-Doo Brown. As an amateur, like oh boy. And he said he got booed, so he called me and told me, and he brought Mike to the house. And I told Mike, I said, "Man, that's something I want to do, man." So he said, "Man, let me tell you like this." He said, "You can go up one time, and when you come off stage, you either gonna say, 'I can do this,' or 'I ain't fucking with it.'"
Yeah.
And then next Tuesday, I went up, and Brooke was the first one to give me the microphone. And TK was the first one to tell me I was funny. My first night. Mike told me to get on stage. Bruce gave me the mic, and TK told me I was funny.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. That is Yeah. They was because by then, 93 was Def Jam was on 93, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That
one was really taking off.
Yep.
And Small Fry said she started in 92 because I interviewed with her.
Oh, so she started right after high school. She started a year after high school. 2 years after high school. Yeah. Wow. So, yep. I started in 95.
And you say you did it on a day. I won't ask you what gave you the courage to get on stage.
Yeah.
But what actually gave you the courage to get up there that first time?
Funny. I knew I was funny. Yeah. I just didn't have the balls to do it. I didn't, And I had seen some stand-up, been to the comedy act, and I just didn't. I was too scared. But when she dared me, I was like, I ain't got no choice. And so I went, and it was. I've been chasing that high.
It was it. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
Yep. It was nothing like it. So that night, I go up. Two people came up to me was Ernesto and Mac Bootsy.
Hey, I interviewed him too. And let me tell you something. I got so much respect for Matt Bootsy because, like I told him, I said, and this ain't no slight to him at all. I watched him get booed for at least 6 months straight when we first started.
Yeah,
but he held on.
Yes,
and he caught some L's, some real L's, but they used to get in the blues, but he never let that deter him.
Oh,
and I was like, boy.
When I came in the game, so I came in the game 2 years after you, and he was still getting booed. So
that's what I'm saying.
My Mike Bootsy story, and we can move on. But he was booked at Uptown. This joker gets this was when you used to do Tuesday through Sunday, I think. The longest week ever.
Yeah.
And so he goes up on Tuesday, gets booed. I mean, bad. And couldn't even do his time. And they was like, hey man, you at least gotta be able to do your time. You can't do that.
Right.
Goes up on Wednesday, gets booed again. They was like, hey man, look, if you can't do this, we're gonna have to let you go. Goes up on Thursday, gets booed one final time, and they fire him. He comes back Friday, goes up, ain't getting paid, gets a standing ovation.
Hell no.
I was like, what was you doing the whole time?
Right.
Man, it was crazy, but destroyed that mug.
Yeah, he hit or miss now. And if he hit, he gonna tear that bitch up.
Yeah, but if he hit, he can hit. Yes.
Right. Now, what did you do to prepare for your first time on stage?
That's what I like. My first time, I didn't prepare. I just knew what I had done with the Deaf Boy and with these girls. So I had little funny lines that I would say then. So I just say it now. And my thing was after, and this was in my mind when I went up, because I think by now, Chicago, Bernie Mac had done Kick It.
I ain't scared of you, Mom.
I ain't scared of you.
Yeah.
And so after each one of my jokes, I would say, that's funny to me. That's funny to me.
Yeah, damn sure did.
It caught on. And I was like, oh, I'm keeping that.
Yeah, once you get that tag, once you get a tag,
Yep.
And they look for it every time your ass hit the stage.
Every time. Yep. And then I added that to it.
Yeah.
Clap for this.
Yeah. You did.
You remember now?
Yeah. That is funny.
Yep. So I wasn't prepared, but I went up there with, I guess I was prepared to some degree because I had been playing with the character for a little while.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yep.
Like Mike told me to get a comb or a brush and get in front of the mirror and just say what you gonna say in the comb or brush, just like a microphone. I was like, and it actually, that's how I started my career. Like before I used to get in front of the mirror and it actually worked.
It does.
It actually worked.
Yeah. So
you got a ritual that you do before you go up?
I got to take a nap.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I got to get a nap in.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I get a nap in. I can't eat before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't. My greatest fear to this day is throwing up on stage. I don't know why.
Damn. Like I don't like to eat either. I don't like to eat before I perform either.
Yep, I don't eat. So I don't eat. I gotta get a nap in, and then I just gotta come all the way down. Like for me, it's like I gotta relax my mind, and be prepared for what's about to happen, you know.
Right.
So that's like, so I don't write my jokes. Like I'll do that probably, you know, the week before. Something like when I want to make sure I got my set in my head, I do write my set out.
Yeah, right.
But like I don't do that before every show or anything like that. That's what Sean Jones does. But yeah, I write my set out like word for word, every single word. I write it out, and then but so I gotta just clear my mind. That's my thing. It's like let me just clear my mind, and then right before I'm like, all right, let's get it, you know. And I'm trying. I joked in, you know. And I love it if it's somebody I'm cool with, you know. Right before I'm about to go on, I want to converse with somebody I'm cool with, you know,
right.
Make some jokes or something like that, and then hit it. Let's get it. That's
right. Any primary influences, like who did you like growing up, like?
Yes, and so funny thing is, I think we had one of the biggest advantages in Atlanta compared to any city. I mean, because we had some hitters.
Yes.
It was nothing like it. But so the funny thing is, what many people don't know. So I love hosting. I thoroughly enjoy hosting. I think it's the easiest spot because if you ain't hitting, you can bring somebody up.
Right. That's right. Ain't no pressure.
Ain't no pressure. Ain't no pressure. But two people who three really, but I would just love watching host was Earthquake, Bruce, but the one who was probably the greatest influence on my style was Gerard.
Yeah, I interviewed Gerard too.
Yeah. Gerard was a dope host.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like I didn't love the funny thing. I didn't just necessarily love his stand up. I loved his crowd work.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. And so yeah, I most definitely kind of modeled myself after, because I'm an improv guy. I love improv, and he did something that made me. I saw it. It's funny. I saw this in the same week. He was hosting, and he was crowd working, and then at the end of the show, he came back and remembered everybody he said something to.
Right.
And that same week, I actually was. I almost had jury duty. I had jury duty, but I almost got selected. And the judge, he talked to everybody. And I remember it was like 30 people left for them to pick out of. And he came back and went through everybody. And he just came back. Hey, yeah, black boy, like, hey, man, I know you went to Gordon, hope you have a good time. Your daughters, appreciate you coming to serve your county. Yeah, C-Dawg, yeah, I know you went to the K, and he hit everybody. And I just thought that was the most amazing.
Right.
I mean, to do it 30 times, and he didn't just say your name, like look at it on a piece of paper. He said whatever you said to him, he said it back. And I just thought that was why it was amazing. But the reason why I wanted to do it, because of how it made me feel.
Right.
And it was like, oh, you listened to me. You heard what I said.
Right.
Like, yeah, like, and so for me, it was like, I was going to do it. And so I started learning how to do that at shows and just remembering if I hit you, because I was always too, if I'm a John, I ain't going to try and hurt your feelings unless you're really trying to interrupt the show.
Right.
But if you was just, we was just joking, then I want to come at the end of the show and be like, hey, appreciate you coming out, such and such, whatever we talked about. just so people can feel like, oh, you know me,
Right.
you feel appreciated.
Right. Now, since you brought up snapping on people, how you feel about that Will Smith, Chris Rock shit?
I feel like Will Smith is a coward. I feel like comics is what we do.
That's right.
It's like for years, since comedy has started, we've talked about people, and so I get the fact of it was about his wife or whatever, but I'm not one of them ones who I believe you have to assume that Chris knew about her having alopecia and assume that he meant to hurt her feelings and assume all these different things. It's like, nah. Chris always goes in on people, and nobody is inexcusable. Everybody can get it. So yeah, I thought, but what I really feel like is Will Smith is in a horrible marriage and he can't, but I think he loved his woman so much he feel like he got to prove his love.
Right.
Yeah, and so ain't nothing wrong with snapping on people.
No, man. And then, like I tell people, like people don't ask me, how you feel about as a comedian? How you feel about? First of all, what Chris Rock said wasn't bad. He didn't even talk about it. He just said he can't wait for G.I. Jane 2.
Yep, that's it.
And he said, "Damn, that was a light one."
Yes.
Hey, come on, Bill. And then, like I do see where Will could feel like he needs to defend his wife. But first of all, you laughed.
Yes.
Now how you go from laughing to want to slap a nigga, I don't know. Maybe she gave you a look or something. But I would have handled it different. Like I said, I don't condone what he did, but I can see why he felt like he had to defend her, because even if y'all got an open marriage or arrangement or whatever, okay, if y'all still living as a couple and living as a family, if your wife feel a certain type of way, you as a man, you gotta goddamn do what you gotta do. But what I'd have did, I'd have called him backstage when he came off stage and been like, "Hey, player, my wife kind of got offended by that joke. Hey, can you ease off her a little bit?"
Right.
You know what I mean? And being cool, but to slap a nigga in front of everybody,
it's like,
hey, what was you trying to prove?
Because whatever you're trying to prove it, you didn't prove it.
You don't set up a whole mess of problem now. Exactly. And then my thing is, I got a problem with her. Why would you let your man make her ass of himself like that?
I said that like it's no way in the world. Knowing how much he had to lose, it's no way in the world you let him go up there and do that.
And she laughed after the slap.
Yes. It's like this dude has, it's too much to lose to go slap a dude for a joke. It was just like, I said this, it's like, realistically, imagine if he would have went up there, if he still would have walked up there and said, and like, he could have started talking. They would have gave him the mic, guaranteed, because he Will Smith, and he would have said, "Hey, Chris, I don't know if you know, dog. My wife has alopecia, so she cut her hair off because, her hair is falling out anyway. And there's many women in the world who struggle with alopecia. You know how women are about their hair."
Right.
So, your joke made her feel some type of way. I would appreciate it if you would apologize, because I think she's beautiful with no hair. You know how many people would have got behind him and how bad Chris would have felt?
Yeah, right.
Of course it takes something to think about that. But it's like, being who he is, you gotta be able to think outside the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like I tell people, if they can't handle those simple ass jokes, they couldn't come to a comedy roast. Like when it's your birthday, y'all can't, because comedians go low at a roast. They will, whatever they can think of that you might get embarrassed about, that's their chance to tear your ass up. And they will let your ass have it, man.
They gonna give it to you. Comedians are ruthless when it comes to roast.
Yes.
And that was, we used to do that on on the balcony of Uptown Comedy Corner till the wee hours in the morning.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't join, you better stay on the outskirts.
And you better not be somewhere where they can see you. If one of them getting killed, they gonna find somebody else to hit.
Right. The professional move to get them off of you is to talk about somebody else.
That's right. You be like, man, hold on, how I get in this? Shit, nigga, you would collateral damage, Pimp.
Yeah.
Collateral damage.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Now, when did you start hosting Uptown? Because you was one of the hosts at Uptown for a while.
Yeah, I hosted Uptown quickly into the game. I was able to I hosted first at Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's where. So Ken Spearman took a liking to me early in my career.
Right.
And like he gave me my first chance. I remember my first feature spot was opening for Cheryl Underwood.
Dang.
Yeah. And I was like, this is one of the baddest females I had ever seen. I had never seen her before.
Right.
Dude.
And smart as hell.
Oh, brilliant. Actually, she is.
God.
Yeah, but man, so I remember I opened up for her for free. He didn't pay me.
Damn.
I wasn't even a year in yet. And he said his reason was, and I get it, because he made me pay my dues. And he was like, you know, he was like, I think you funny. You know, he said, I don't know if you're really ready for this, but he's like, I want to see. And so he's like, I ain't gonna pay you, you know. And so I didn't have to do a full feature set. I had to do like 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something.
Right. Damn. And see, like I tell people, I was bucking on Uptown back early. And Ken, when I interviewed Ken, said, well, Black, you were bucking before you got famous. But I always had a problem with doing them 9 shows for $450. That's $50 a show. And I always had a problem with that. Like, I only actually got paid to perform at Uptown probably about 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, I did. When I went up at Uptown, it was amateur night or just going up, get some time. But nah, man, I worked Uptown probably about 3, maybe 4 times at the most.
That's funny. I would have never known that.
Yeah,
I would have never known that. I mean, because you was there.
Yeah,
you know,
like I was always there, but at the same time, like I'd rather just go up before I let y'all give me that money. But every now and then, I worked there just to, because that was really the only spot we had at the time. So I was like, well, yeah, I need to go on to work here, but nah, man. And Ken was like, yeah, but Black, you were bucking too early, Black. I was like, Ken, whatever it is, if I don't like it, I can't go with it. I just have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But I mean, you were there, and I think you had to be there, because if you ain't in sight, you out of sight, out of mind. Cats ain't giving you shows. So and you was working.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like my run with Bruce Pimp. I really didn't do nothing in Atlanta unless we had a major show when I was on the road with Bruce. So that's how I kind of fell out of sight. Until I got back and started hosting backstage. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I was shocked. I'm like, how can I hold a room this long when cats been here? They can't hold a room for 4 or 5 weeks.
I mean, but you was still in it. You still by that time you had been in the game a minute.
Yeah. I was homegrown, so I was still going around Atlanta. Yeah. But I really didn't do that much at Uptown. Unless I just stop in and do something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny. I mean, I would have never known that. I would have never known that. Like, because you was there. I mean, and then we worked, and too, we was working comics. So I mean, we worked together on the road a few times, and that's when I learned your real name. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I tell folks, like, for a long time, didn't nobody know my real name. I was always Black Boy. Like, a lot of people didn't find out my real name until I got on Facebook.
Really?
Even did hit me when he first found out. He was like, "Nigga, I always thought your mama named you Black Boy." Because they nobody know. Like, comedians used to trip out if they don't work with Bruce or something. You know what I mean? We might need somebody else or something, and we go to the airport. They find out my name. They were like, "Hold on, nigga, you don't seem like no Tim." I said, "Nigga, that's why I don't use To me, it don't fit me. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know what I think my name should be or what I don't know. Like, shit, Black.
That's hilarious. I don't know what my name should be, but that's hilarious. Yeah, I forgot. We was checking into the house. We was checking into the hotel.
Yeah,
and you know, they gave her your name or she said your name or something like that. I was like, okay.
I be telling people now, hey, you just don't know how valuable that information is. Like, even when I coaching kickball, everybody was trying to figure, hey, what's his real name? What's his real name? I don't know. How old is it? I don't know. Because, I've been saying I was 27 since I was 27.
Since I was 27.
Like, I just started claiming my age when I turned 50.
Really?
Yes, I just started last year. I'm 51. I'll be 52 in September.
That's so funny. It's so funny. It's like, when comics start before you think they might. You feel like because they older in the game than you feel like they little old. Yeah, I just turned 50 in February, so I don't know why I thought you was at least 54.
I'm gonna tell you when I realized we had started getting older at Tyler funeral.
Oh, that was.
When I started looking at everybody, I was like, God damn, pimp, matter of fact, it has been 20-some years, man. Like,
yes.
We the old heads now.
Yeah.
Like that be so funny to me. Like, nigga, we the old heads now. Like,
oh, JJ said that whenever he went up there to speak at Tyler funeral, and he was like, yeah, it's good to see the OGs in here. He was like, C-Dawg, Rod, man.
Like, right. We never became OG.
I'm like, wow. But yeah, I didn't know half them young comics in the room.
Right. Like I don't really know none of them.
Me.
You know what I mean? Like everybody be, so and so. I say, hold on, when he start? Because nigga, I know all the old heads. I know all the old heads. And like up under, I say probably Carlos. Carlos probably about one of the last Atlanta comedians that. He probably about one of the last one that I knew.
Clayton.
Yeah, Clayton.
Yeah.
But they some of the last one that I met.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, and they were like, you don't know so-and-so, you don't know. Nah, I don't. I'm like, why? It's so many comics in Atlanta.
Yes.
Like, god damn, how many motherfuckers is it?
Yeah. It is
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would love to have a cookout or something with all the old heads. Like just us sitting around talking shit so we can relive those back in the days at Uptown where nigga you just snap and wear your ass out.
It was nothing like it. It was really a brotherhood and I guess a sisterhood with us.
Yeah.
But it was like we was family. You couldn't tell us wasn't family. Like yeah, we knew each other since we was kids, pretty much.
Yeah.
But we all had just a camaraderie. Like it was nothing like it, man. It was most definitely. It felt like a fraternity.
Yeah, but see, one thing about it was everybody had their own style back then.
True.
Nobody was trying to be like nobody. Nobody was stealing material and all that shit. And see, that's one of the things that got me discouraged when I started hosting backstage. Because I remember when we didn't get no respect to having the funniest comedians in the country. Yeah. And we had that title for about 3-4 years.
Yeah.
To being the biggest player haters in the country, to being the biggest joke thieves in the country.
Yeah.
And when I started,
you had everybody coming here too, though.
Right. Yeah. Everybody was moving here.
Everybody was moving here, and everybody thought that, if for some reason, and people still think like this, but for some reason, people felt like, it was a race, or like, only a few people could make it at a time.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't know, to some degree, it might have been some truth to that. I mean, because it did feel like at times, it was levels to it.
Yeah.
It did feel like that, but I don't know. But yeah, you most definitely had cats. And hosting was where you really saw it when you.
Oh yeah.
Because you in a room and now you see all these jokers coming around and you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Like I remember they got mad at me at backstage because I created a competition where if you steal anybody material and you do it in front of me, I'm gonna call you out on it.
Yeah.
Oh, pimp, they got mad at me for that.
Yeah.
Because somebody did one of Doodoo Brown jokes. Nigga, I called Doodoo Brown while the nigga was on stage. I said, Doodoo, just listen to this. And I put it on speakerphone. So when the nigga finished, Doodoo, nigga, that's my motherfucking joke. Nigga, it's Doodoo motherfucking Brown on speakerphone when I went back on stage. I said, I told y'all, if you do somebody's shit, nigga, I'm finna goddamn call y'all. And boy, they got mad at me for that.
But that's how we came up though.
Right. It was an actual art form. Like you had to be funny before your ass got anything. You had to be funny.
You got no respect. Yeah. Hey, I remember I'm maybe a year in the game. I'm in the back of the club. Earthquake comes in, and I don't know who's on stage. But so he's standing right there. We leaning against like the DJ booth, the steps. And I'm like, it was my first time ever standing next to him. I'm like, oh, that's Earthquake.
Yeah.
So I say to him, man, they funny, ain't they? He looks at me like, nigga, why are you talking to me?
Right, yeah. Hey, man, I tell people how hard Earthquake want to deal with back then.
Dude.
Like, I love him to death now. We cool as hell now, but back then,
wow. Oh, he was boy. But when I went on stage couple years later and I smashed, then he would remember my name. Yeah. Oh, C-Dawg.
Yeah. Like Earthquake really didn't mess with me because me and Bruce was so tight. Yeah. And they didn't have a rivalry. Well, they didn't have a beef. They had like a rivalry because Bruce was at the Comedy Act and he was at Uptown. So they was going for the king of the city. And both of them was funny as fuck.
Too funny.
And I remember when the Comedy Act closed March 8th, 1994, on a Monday. And we had to go to Uptown that Tuesday. And when I say Quake was giving us the blues, he didn't put up nobody that came from the Comedy Act. Nobody. The few that was going between both of them, he put them up last. Yeah. But he didn't, if we were just strictly the Comedy Act, boy, he did not put us up. He was calling us POWs, all kind of shit. Well, when I say he was snapping, he was snapping. So Bruce came up there later on that night. And I remember this like it was yesterday. So we out there on the balcony at the old Uptown. And I was just telling Bruce, I'm like, hey, man, what the hell we going to do? Because, well, when I say he gave us the blues, pimp, he called us POWs, pimp. Like, what the fuck? Funny. What the fuck we gonna do? And because like I say, everybody knew how loyal Bruce was to the Comedy Act. Yes. And there was a guy now named Lil Mike that he's coming out all the time, but he always wanted Bruce to host another club. Yeah. And I told him, I said, hey man, tell Lil Mike to tell Mike Cato, who owned the Blue Flame, that the Comedy Act done closed. That's when we opened up Harlem Nights. Before 559. Yes. And see, we went from Harlem Nights to 559 because they wouldn't sell Mike Cato the building. They wouldn't sell him Harlem Night building on Campbellton Road. Yeah. That's how we ended up at 559.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Look at this Black with the Atlanta history.
Oh man, Pip, I remember all this shit like it was yesterday. Like I remember when we met Tyler at Club 720 and brought him to 559. Really? Yeah. Because Matt Booster was hosting Club 720, and he told us to come down because Bruce had when the Comedy Act closed, Bruce had probably about 5 or 6 clubs that we went to every week. Like we have a different club for every night of the week. And see, I'm the one that got them to start giving amateurs a little money. Because, really? we wouldn't get nothing. And I told Bruce then, I say, man, these people follow you around just to get a chance to go on stage. I said, what if you give everybody some gas money? I said, like $25 or something. Mm-hmm. And when he started doing that, man, everybody would follow us everywhere. Get them little $25. Yep. I remember. Just get them little $25, man. Yep. Yeah. I was like, man. This shit crazy, man.
It was 559. That was my 559. I got a few 559 stories, but so that Tuesday that I go up, the first time I go up, I do well at Uptown. McBootsy and Ernesto come up to me. He's like, "Man, you funny." It was like, "You should come to 559." And I had heard of 559,
right?
But I didn't know about 559.
Right,
and
right.
I was like 559. I said, "In the club in the West End?" I was like, "Yeah, they do comedy tonight after this show." Yeah. And I was like, "Okay." The funny thing was, I invited people to come to Uptown. Only one person showed up on time before I went up.
Right.
And so they was like, "Dang, we missed you." And then the person who came was like, "Yeah, he was funny too." And so I was like, "Hey, but they just told me it's a club 559 over in the West End we can go to. I can go up over there." Man, it was a setup. Yeah. I went up. Bruce was hosting. I go up, man. I get booed profusely. And I was like, I got like one joke off. That mug didn't hit. But I was so shell shocked. I remember it was a dude sitting. He was sitting right in front of the stage. I could see him. He had a purple shirt on. It had stripes, polo shirt. And he was the first one. I said whatever my joke was. He said, "Boo." I was like, "Oh, shut up, man. Look at your shirt." That was all I had. It was like them boos just came. Woo,
all it took was one. And then, boy, if one of them get started, hey, man, they finna let your ass have it, man.
They would let you have it.
And I went 559 ended a lot of nigga career.
We would. That's the thing that we love going to 559 to watch jokers bomb. Because the thing was, the beautiful thing about 559, no matter what you did, I think it was like you had to do 5 minutes at least.
Yeah.
And you was getting your money.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And so
even as the headliner, you have to do 5 minutes. As the
headliner.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that mode was the last date of the
creative tour.
Yep.
Look, motherfuckers used to drop off of 559 and pick back up when they went to Memphis the next day.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, Bruce, you go ahead. Y'all, that's all right. Hey, I got a headache today, man. I got a headache. And we used to be there waiting on them to call out. So we finna get that little money.
Yep.
Hey, man.
And that's what I don't know who called out the time I went up, and I had to close the show, and I ripped that mug, and it was the first time I had done okay. Before. I never had done good.
Right.
Okay at best. I ripped this mug this one time, and I said, "That's it."
Yeah. Once you come, I ain't going back up. I'm leaving on good though, baby.
Yep.
And Wanda said, "Dang, I missed that 559." Hey man, 559 was the truth,
dude.
It was on a Tuesday night, 12 o'clock midnight, 11 o'clock. The parking lot empty, but by 12, it's sold the fuck out.
All the way out, packed all the way from the front to the back.
Yeah,
man, I had some of the greatest experiences. One time they got the shooting.
Oh yeah,
they got the shooting in that mug. It was right outside. It actually wasn't inside, but it sounded like it was inside. They got the shooting. Me, Bruce, and a gang of us ran out that back door. The fence was chain locked.
Oh yeah,
We thought we was about to die in that mug. It was hilarious. But one of the coolest times. This wasn't even. It was the comedy night, and they start having musical artists come up at the end after we went up.
Yeah.
And 8-Ball had just dropped his album by himself. And so he came up there, he was doing his stuff, and new album. People was like, "Oh, that's cool, no, let's go back to stage pimping and all, And he was like, he said, "Man, I can't do that. My boy ain't here, MJG ain't here, I can't do, without him." And Too Short said, "I do his part.
Yeah.
And comes up and smashes that mug.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what the last song was, but he finished MJG lines and said,
it was two songs that'll set 559 that lay it down.
Yes.
And that Pimp in My Own Rhyme.
Yes.
When you hear boy, the whole crowd finna go crazy. And boy.
Man, yes, that was the best night I ever had in 559.
Hey, man.
That was the days, Black.
Nigga, I remember Ricky Smiley got booed. Then when he came back, he did Lil Darryl. Oh, he destroyed that bitch. He destroyed that bitch.
Yeah.
And everybody, you just swear they can handle 559. Oh, nah, we do peppermint, nigga. Ain't that harder than peppermint? Oh, okay. Okay.
Right.
But when they came in there, they were like, hey, man, nah, boy, hey.
They ain't want none of it.
If this ain't hard as peppermint, it might be harder than peppermint. I said, okay.
Yeah. I remember it was Bruce's birthday, and we had left Uptown, and Earthquake was like, they was like, hey, Quake, it's Bruce's birthday. We going over to 5-5. And he was like, man, I'll go over there, but I ain't going up. They ain't getting ready to boo me. And so we purposely sat on that back wall towards the back.
Yeah.
And somebody told Bruce Quake was in there. And so he put him up.
Yep.
But Quake was like, man. But he went up, but he hit him.
Yeah.
Like,
see, that was the key. As long as you wasn't scared, it was cool.
Yeah.
But if you got any fear in your boy, they can smell that shit. And they
smell it in the water.
They finna let your ass have it, Jack.
Yes.
Another Matt Booster story. I remember, and then I hate to sound like we hate, but these are facts. You know what I mean? Like I remember one night they was on one.
Yeah.
They were letting everybody have it. So they told Bruce, they said, hey man, I'm telling you, if you give the Matt Booster, we gonna give it to him. So Matt Booster still want to go, oh no, let me go on. I'm going up anyway. I'm going up. Okay. Hey man, when Bruce introduced Matt Booster and he put the microphone in his hand, time Matt Booster touching like this, they let him have it. So then Bruce was like, hey man, hold on, y'all get a man a shot, man, but y'all give him a shot. They said, I'm telling you, we gonna let him have it. Boy, he gave the Matt Booster again. By the time he touched it, they let him have it again. I was like, hey, Bill, just let it go tonight now.
Just let it go, man.
They are on one.
Yes.
You ever been booed?
Have I? Yeah, so that was 559 was my first day. First show I did good. Second show 559, I got booed. My worst experience was I was doing this. This is what made me stop doing small little family reunions and stuff. But somebody asked me to do a grandma. She was turning 85, I think it was. They wanted me to do an 85-year-old birthday party. And so it was at a YMCA in this little room. The DJ had a microphone. The cord was about 3 feet long. He handed it to me across the table. I had to stand like catty corner because it couldn't come no further.
Right.
And I'm in there. My jokes ain't not one of them landed. Like because the family split up. You got the old people over here and the young people over here. The young people over there laughing like this. They want their parents to see them laughing.
Right.
But the grandmama got she got all her sisters and everything at the table. And she say something, her table go crazy. And it just take that. I'm like, dang, grandma. I said, grandma, what y'all laughing at over there? She was like, it's okay, baby, go on. I was like, well, no. I said, you done already. Everybody looking at y'all now. I'm trying to figure out what y'all over there laughing at. She says, we just trying to figure out what you saying that's funny. Why you here? I was like, I actually said, Grandma, I can't even say nothing because if I say something about you, everybody in here gonna beat me up.
Right.
So, right. Man, it was so deflating. I was like, get out of here. That was the worst experience. I just felt like I felt this big after that.
Right.
But I mean, I got booed. I got booed at Uptown when the moment I stopped doing Deaf Boy was I'm doing my show and Tyler was hosting. He brought me up. I'm doing my show. I ain't doing that good. And this dude say from the side, "Hey man." And I look over. He said, "See, I told you he wasn't there."
Yeah, I'm finna say. I knew you were finna say something about that. I knew it.
Yes. And man, the crowd went crazy. I mean, I was done at that point. I couldn't come back from it. It was it. I was like, from that point on, I said, I'm not doing it.
Like I don't think I ever got booed, but what I got was worse than that. Like I had been doing comedy silence. I think I had been doing comedy probably about 2 months or a month and a half, and Mike took me and Nard down to Mobile, Alabama.
Mm.
And you know how hard my set was. Especially when I first started. So I went down there and I've been tearing the comedy act up, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, oh shit, buddy, I got that. Man, I went down there with that hard shit, man. Them folks were looking at me like, what the hell y'all done brought down here? I'm talking about, didn't nobody say a word.
Yeah, that's and the
hey man, I was like, boy, ooh. Nigga, I almost quit that night.
People don't know silence is worse than a boo.
Yes.
Because it's like, you gonna let me die this slow death up here?
Right.
Put me out of my misery. Boo me.
Right. So I can try to come back.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't giving me that.
You ain't giving me nothing. That is the worst.
Man. Who you done met that you idolized growing up, that you met as a comedian, and you were like, God damn, that's all right. I met the Fonz. I done met Patty LaBelle. Yeah, Ben Vereen. Yeah. I done met some folks. LeBron got drafted.
Who?
LeBron, right before he got drafted.
Did you?
Yeah. And I got so much love and respect for that young man. That man was worth $90 million before he ever touched the NBA floor.
Nike. Yep.
And when we met him up in Cleveland, it was him and Darius Miles.
Mm-hmm.
And when we met, he was so goddamn cool, man.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, if anybody got a right to be an arrogant motherfucker, it's this young boy right here. And he was so goddamn cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I met two people I just thought was cool when I met them. George Wallace.
Yeah.
Cool as a fan. Like
funny here. On stage.
Yeah. Yes. Like, yeah, I was just so like, dang, like I appreciated it. Like, you know, he treated me like, you know, he asked me how long I was doing it, told him we talked and all that. And he was just kicking it. Like, you know, and he was George Wallace. He was, because I think this might have been before he had his Vegas, or he might have been in Vegas by this time still, but yeah, he was George Wallace. So that was one. And the other cool one was, and I don't know why I used to think Sid was way ahead of us. Yeah. You know, he was ahead of us, but he wasn't way ahead of us. But by this time, he was Sid the Entertainer, you know.
Right.
And so we was in the hallway at Uptown, and he comes in. Nobody expected him to come. He just came through, and he talked to every single comic in the hallway that night. Like, what you doing, you know, what's your style, you know, and just and he went to every single comic. And then we went out after that, and we went and hung out with him, and he invited us all to hang out. And then when I realized he was a real nigga, we went to 112, and he bought drinks for everybody, and he had a bottle for his table. And it was a bottle of Hennessy. If I'm almost sure it was a bottle of Hennessy.
Yeah, Hennessy was the shit back in the day. Yeah,
yes,
Hennessy
it was. Yes, it was. And so, 112 was closing, and so he said, "All right, hey, let me get the top to the bottle because we're gonna go ahead and leave." And they was like, "Said you can't take the bottle with you." He was like, "What you mean? I paid for it." It's like, "Said it ain't that." It's like, it's against the law for us to let you take this bottle out here.
Right.
Man, this joker got hot. So much so, he was like, "Well, bring me cups then." And this joker started pouring everybody shots. And I was like, this is a real nigga. Because most niggas, as much money, because by this time he was on TV, he was all of that.
Yeah,
I was like, you got enough money that this wasn't gonna hurt you. But he was like, I paid for this. You gonna give me my Hennessy. So, but that they were the two people I just felt like it was the coolest. Steve Harvey was an asshole.
Yeah. If Steve didn't like you, he didn't fuck with you at all. It was either he like you or he don't. And boy, if he didn't,
yes. Yeah. Shaq was cool as a fan. Yeah. Got to hang out with him. Who else? Just famous. And that's what, like, a lot of times, what I kind of regret from my career was I wasn't, like, I had a little arrogance for some reason when it came to celebrities.
Me too. Yeah. I didn't like, nigga, if I meet you, cool. If I don't, cool. Nigga, I
could have met and I didn't, I was like, I probably should have done that. It would have, it would have been cool, just the experience or something. But I felt like I'm gonna be as funny as or as famous as you are one day.
Right.
Yeah. And so I had experiences I could have, but yeah, I don't know. But they're my two coolest stories. Those are I'll never forget them.
Like it's a couple of people that really tripped me out. Like I said, I met the Fonz. I got a picture with him. Patty Beverine, Lenny Williams. OJ.
Before or after?
After.
Yeah.
We were down and he had two. We were down in Miami, and he had two white girls with him. Then I was like, boy, you just ain't gonna goddamn learn. You ain't gonna goddamn learn, boy. Woo-wee.
We hung
nigga, I met Ike Turner.
Where?
We was out in California. Damn. That's when I met Lenny Williams too. We was like, and that's the great part about my career. Like, I got to ride with Bruce. Like, nigga, Bruce that's when he was on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got to meet a lot of motherfuckers, man. A lot of motherfuckers. Yeah. But when I met them, I was like, what, this shit all right. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
You like snapping or doing material?
I've never been. I will snap it, but I was always the cat. If you make me go there, I'll go there.
Right.
But I was material and crowd work. I love crowd work. Crowd work is one of my most favorite things to do. You know, and so for me, I only wanted to snap. If I had to, like I was going, and I had, I had a couple that I'm gonna start off with, and then
right.
I'm gonna try and hit you personally, because I didn't. If you yelling out, then I didn't know how to make everybody like it's gonna be about you, and not just funny at you. I'm gonna try and hurt your feelings, and so
right.
Yeah.
I gotta get you to shut up. I gotta get you to shut up.
Yeah, and so I was gonna do that, but it didn't lead to. I did have somebody approach the stage before, but then I had Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
What was old boy used to host it was Secrets in Greensboro, I think it was.
I don't forget what club it was.
Oh, I think it was Secrets. I'm almost sure it was Secrets. It was the creative tour. And I'm hosting Me and Laugh Love. I'm not hosting, I'm headlining. Laugh was featuring. And I can't remember the dude was hosting, but he didn't do no time. He didn't do no time. And so he put Laugh up. And so Laugh going, he started jawing this one cat, going back and forth with him, and Laugh hitting him. I mean, hitting him hard. This joke get mad. So he finished his set, and you can see this joker hot. So I come up, he say something to me, I hit him a little bit, and then this lady yell out. I start drilling her. I can see her. So, and she was a big girl. So I'm going in. I'm going straight in. And so this dude behind us say, man, get off her, man. I was like, hey, man, she yelled out, and I say something funny, crowd going. He's like, hey, man, leave her alone. And so I'm like, dang, Captain, save her, who is you?
Right.
And so I start going in on him.
Right.
And I'm just hitting him. I'm hitting him. And then this joker get up. And he come to the stage. He said, man, I told you leave people alone, man. And he walked to the stage, and this joker getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
He walked up on me. This joker gotta be 6'7". Gotta be 300 and some odd pounds. I mean, big. Right. And I stand my ground though. I'm like, hey, if you hit me, you're gonna have to knock me out because I ain't going nowhere, And I say something to him, but I'm joking. I ain't trying to be in no fight with this big old joker because security is nowhere to be found.
Right. They see that 6'7", 300 pounds.
I'm like,
I gotta use the bathroom. Hell no.
I'm like, I gotta find a way to diffuse this. And so I say something, and he go on and leave. And then so I finish my set, and then I go up to security after the end of the night, or I go to the manager. I was like, why didn't y'all get security? They said, oh, you don't know who that is? I was like, no, I don't know who that is. They was like, that's the biggest drug dealer in Greensboro. We wasn't gonna touch him. I was like, wow. Y'all was gonna let me die?
Yeah, hey, nigga, we'll have your funeral too.
Yeah. And then they told us you might want to go ahead and leave because he really mad.
Yeah.
And so that night we got in the car and we drove back to Atlanta. We didn't even go to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And see, that's what I tell people, like, we don't get to take them pistols out of town. Like, hey, man, hey, hell no. Like, and then you gonna have to fight the whole town because he gonna have some folk there with him now.
Oh, so, yes. Yeah. And then, like, when security, like, the club owner and security told us we need to leave. Like,
right.
Like, yes. So no.
Yeah, y'all need to get out the city, nigga. Don't even change hotel. Get out the city.
Yeah. And you got, I was gonna take that serious. He didn't tell me we need to just leave the club. He told us we need to leave town.
Right.
Like the Wild Wild West.
Yeah. Hey, man. Now, now for people that don't know, that's doing all these skits, y'all was some of the first. I don't know if y'all were the very first, but y'all was some of the first doing them skits with the Blacktop Circus. When did y'all start the Blacktop Circus?
We started the Blacktop Circus in 97. 1997. Yep. And we started, and actually, it's shouts out to a person I don't necessarily give shouts out to is Gary Abdo.
Yeah.
He wanted to start an improv group, and so he got Tommy Futch was a cat who had done a lot of improv, white guy in a wheelchair, became our leader in a sense back then. And so, but I get like Gary wanted to start an all black improv group because it wasn't one.
Right.
And so we started that, and it was me, Big Sean, Laugh Love, Pat Brown, Darian Perkins, Ray Grant.
Damn.
Yes. And then there was some other people that wasn't even comedians, but
right.
Yep. Yep. It was a group of us, yeah. And then Dante Ray ended up coming along, Swift ended up coming along later. But yeah, we was getting it in, man. We was
and y'all got some shows coming up or something, right? Y'all
we
still
do
doing
have
it, right?
we actually doing something for the city of Fairburn coming up April 27th and June 17th. We're doing City of Fairburn. They got an amphitheater down there. So if you near the city of Fairburn, April 20, I think it's April 29th and June 17th, be like evening. It's a dope little amphitheater they got down there. Yeah, so we've been doing that for the last couple of years. But yep, we'll be down there doing our thing. Yep.
Damn. 20 years later.
20 years later. We have my Blacktop store. We had an audition. So we get a phone call and was like, the booking agent was like, hey, we're looking for Blacktop Circus. I'm like, yeah. And it was like, hey, Jamie Foxx is putting together a show and they keep telling us about y'all. So we want to come see y'all. And we was like, so we had to put a show together. And of course, we tell Gary about it. And Gary, instead of putting the show together just for us, he then invites other comics. We got the phone call. He didn't even get the phone call.
Right.
We got the phone call. We asked him, can we use the club? He invites other comics. And he had tried to switch this whole show up. So we was like, all right, we don't care. We just got to go up first before everybody else. And so we go up. We smashed that mug. Like, it was one of the best sets we ever had. We smashed that mug, and it was a variety show that he was putting together. And the original name was going to be called These Nuts. And so they didn't want all of us. They wanted to pick somebody out the group. And so, but we did so well, they were going to give us our own segment in the show. They were giving us our own segment in the show, and they just had to pick the rest of the group. And so they ended up picking, I don't know if I can say who, but the people that they picked, it was one person that they picked that the network didn't like. And Jamie wanted them on the show. And so he kept pushing for them to be on the show. He auditioned twice. And the second time was just as bad as the first time. And so they dropped the show altogether.
What? Hell no.
Yep. We would, like, they told us because we was gonna be able to film in Atlanta and be able to send them the stuff every week to be on the show. We had it.
Hell no.
Yes. Yeah.
He probably had to lead. You won't be a part of what we doing for Jamie. So like, nigga, we not finna fuck up this opportunity. Hell no.
They ended up, the show was real close, but like he kept pushing this one person, and but then because they dropped the show because Rob Stapleton was gonna be on it. He made it, and he had actually moved to LA for a little while for it. And they ended up dropping the show altogether. And they ended up making it it was a variety show built around Affion Crockett after that. Yeah. And so they did that, and ended up getting canceled. But yeah.
Right.
So
nigga, how is Pat Brown?
Pat Brown, she just came up for my 50th. She came and showed me some love. Pat is getting it in. Pat
They're writing and doing it.
Yeah. So she wrote for Steve Harvey on, he do a Super Bowl show every year. Or he was. I don't know if he did it this year. But she wrote for him for a couple years on that. And she wrote for Tracy, what's Tracy last name? Tracy Morgan. She wrote for Tracy Morgan when he did the ESPY Awards. She wrote for him. But now she's touring with Tracy. So, yeah.
Tell her I said what's up, man. And congratulations, man.
Yeah, man. So she getting it in from New York. Yep.
Yeah, and I see a lot of ladies are getting shine now. Like Miss Pat got that show on BET Plus.
Yes.
And I That motherfucker is hilarious.
Dude, I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't know how good it would be, you know.
Right.
I have no respect for BET, but anyway, that's another story.
Right.
But yeah, funny. Like it's
they said the show funny as fuck.
Yeah. And they recorded it here in Atlanta. I want to go see it one day.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they recorded it in Atlanta.
Yeah. And I see she on V103 now with Tigger, I think, in the morning. The morning show. Yeah. Miss Pat done came a long way.
Pat done came a long way.
Yeah. Hey man, I remember when all these folk got their start, man. Like,
dude.
And it's good to see them making progress because I think E Duchess just did her special.
Really?
Yeah, and it's on Tubi, I think. I think I seen something. They say it's on Tubi.
Okay,
on the streaming network. Yeah. I just have down Facebook and I seen it where they were advertising. I'm like, well, goddamn, because she had called me a couple of times and told me that she was doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'll be excited for you. Like that's my, saying what we said earlier. I want people to make it. Like
right.
Yeah.
Like one of my homeboys asked me, he was like, "Hey, Black, let me ask you something, man. How you feel about these young comedians getting all this love for street comedy, and you the one started that shit?" And I'm like, "Well, pimp, I'm proud of them. Like, I'm not a hater. You know what I mean? I say when I started it, it wasn't the only thing they had was underground comedy, and I say I always give two people they props. That's Doodoo Brown and TK Kirkland.
Yeah,
I say because without them, pimp, y'all they wouldn't have been ready for me. Right. I say, but when I say it really didn't take off until I hit Comic View.
Mm-hmm.
I said when they turned me loose on Comic View, I said that's when it exploded. But pimp, I did my part. I put it on the map. So I'm not like, and what black comedians don't understand is it's enough money out here for everybody.
Always, yes.
Like it's enough money for everybody, pimp. Like I couldn't be a hater. And he was like, "Well, do they give you your props?" I said, "Nigga, a lot of the younger comedians don't even know who I am."
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I said, "Pimp, I'm cool. I like to see every black person that's doing something positive get they shine. Like, nigga, if they can get it. Like, I'm not.
There's room for everybody.
Right.
Yep.
Now, have you ever had a traumatic situation and then had a show? Like my baby mama died.
Oh.
I had like 4 minutes before my next show. We were down in Houston, Texas. I remember like it yesterday. Whoa. But I went out and had probably one of the best shows
you ever had. Yeah. I think it wasn't that close. I ain't had that. That's really traumatic.
Right.
I remember my grandmama died and I did the show. She died in the middle of the week and I did the show that weekend. That was the closest that I just traumatic. Yeah, I ain't had nothing that traumatic at all. You don't. Right. What can I follow with that? 4 minutes before the show.
No, and I was like, because like a lot of people say we some of the sickest motherfuckers in the world because we can turn tragedy into comedy.
Guaranteed.
And to drop out of a hat. And I was like, I never knew what it was about me about comedy that when I do have something traumatic to happen that I can just still go out and block it out and all that. And then when at the end of the show, I told him, I said, man, y'all ain't gonna believe this. I said, my baby mama just passed like 4 minutes before I came out here. And it's kind of crazy because when my daughter called me, she was telling me, she like, hey, Daddy, my mama just passed away. I was like, hey, baby, stop playing with me. I got a show in a few minutes. Don't play with me. She said, no, I'm for real. And I was like, God damn. I said, now, baby, this might sound fucked up. Because I'm feeling fucked up when I say this. But I can't talk to you right now. I said, give me about 30 minutes because I got about 450 people out here waiting on me to laugh. We was at the Improv in Houston.
Wow.
And I said, give me about 30 minutes. And as soon as I come off stage, I'll call you right back.
Wow.
And because if I talk to her, like, even though me and my baby mama, we never had a relationship. We were just young, fucking, she got pregnant. But I always had respect for her because she was my baby mama.
Yeah.
And I never knew that it would hit me like it did. Oh, but I did know that, I can't talk to you right now because just you telling me this about to make me break down. Like,
right.
I gotta hold it. I got 4 minutes. I was like, boo, just give me a minute. I know it sounds crazy, but boo, and when I came on stage, I came back and called her, and I was like, hey man,
dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah.
And like people don't understand that regardless of what a comedian goes through, our job still is to make y'all laugh.
Guaranteed.
And y'all don't give a damn what we go through.
Oh yeah,
nigga, you hit that stage, you better be funny, motherfucker. So
yeah, it don't even matter. Because I had many times where I was upset, me and my wife or baby mama at the time and got into it or something. I've had many times where I didn't feel like telling you, but I ain't had no choice, or we always, it's a switch in our head.
Right.
We just got to turn it on. All that's done for now. I got to do this, and then I'll come back to that later on. Yep.
Now, if you wasn't doing comedy, what would you be doing? What profession would you have?
I'd be a preacher.
I can see that. I can see that.
Which I am. So,
for real?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yes. So I got the tug. I had the tug many years ago, many years ago, and it really hit me. I would say around. It really started hitting me at 2010, and then 2012, 2013, it was like he was knocking the door down, and I had to pay some attention, and so. That's one reason I created Hallelujah that you came and did.
Right.
Because I felt like I knew he was trying to get me to do something and something to honor him in a sense, but I was like, I ain't supposed to be no preacher,
Right.
And so I started doing Hallelujah, and that just kept it going. And so, yeah. So I ended up becoming an assistant pastor at a church in 2017.
Damn. Now people don't know this, but you was the first one to have enough belief in me to do a church show.
Yeah.
My show was hard. Like people don't realize how hard my show was. But at Pimp, I had the time of my life because I was scared as a motherfucker.
You kept talking about it.
Yes, I was terrified because I was like, man, I don't know. First of all, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and then I don't know how these people gonna accept me, man. Like what? But
that's what. And the thing was, so the thing that I knew about you was you hosted. You are a host, and if you can host, then you can. I believe you can figure your way out through your set. I believe because a host takes a different mind, and anything can happen, and you got to be prepared for it.
That's right.
And so
that's right.
Yeah. So I felt like you could host, so I figured you could figure it out. You've been doing it for years, and I just knew you, and I just like he can do. And that's the type of church that I have. That's type, and I'm like it's like I don't believe that we should become Christians and just change who we are. It's like God made you who you were. So you could be who you are, like without, and that's why, like I told you, I was like, hey, come in here, don't cuss, don't talk about sex, everything else free game.
Yeah. And that made it a whole lot easier. And Wanda says, you sound like Black, he going to be the cussing preacher. And I told, people done told me I'm gonna end up being a preacher. I done had a few people tell me that. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that because when I talk, the cussing just come out. Like they wanted me to talk as schools back in the day, and I told them if you send out a permission slip saying that I can cuss, because I can't promise you I'm not gonna cuss, especially when it's something that means something to me.
Yeah.
Because that's the way my mama always got her point across. Like she say something, you be like, okay, yeah. But when she cuss your ass out, you know she's serious. And I'm like, it's some tough ass kids out here.
Yes.
Like you can't go to them with that Mickey Mouse shit. Like they need to hear some shit. But if they cool with me cussing, like I'm saying, I'm not going there to cuss, but I can't promise you I'm not gonna cuss. You know what I mean? They were like, we'll send out a permission slip.
Yep. That was my thing. Like when we created the show, don't come in here and be vulgar. You know, this ain't that type of show. But it's come in here and be who you are. If you cuss, make a joke about it and move on. That's what Tim Murray came in there. Tim Murray, and because the thing that what I wanted people to see was people's hearts. Right. It's like, you know, cussing don't make a person a bad person. And for people who don't know, cussing actually ain't a sin. It's the heart behind the cuss words that's a sin. You know? And so that's a whole nother thing. You have to go read your Bible. But no, Tim Murray came and did the show. Tim Murray says up front, he said, hey, because he was the same way, just like you. He was like, hey, I don't go to church. I ain't know, but my boy asked me to do the show, so I'm most definitely wanted to come and do it. He was like, I ain't no bad dude. And then he said, you know, I don't go to church, you know, but he said, but I ain't out here whipping my dick out in front of kids and nothing like that. I was like, what? But he goes on and he slips and cusses like every 3 sentences, and it's like, I'm sorry, y'all. And you could just see he was so real, you know, and he was just like, no, I want to make y'all laugh, but this ain't what I normally do, you know. And he got a standing ovation in the end. And just like you killed it.
Yeah. And that was a big ass lift off my shoulders. Like, I never thought I could do it. But when I came on that stage, I was like, you know what? This is all right. this all right. So, yeah, and I appreciate you having the belief in me, Pip, because honestly, I never thought I could do it.
Hey, get ready to bring it back. So get ready.
Okay. Now let me ask you how you felt about the first time you take Comic View.
The first time I take Comic View, I did good. I never had a bad set at Comic View. The first time I hit them, I taped in LA the first time.
Right.
I taped in LA. Lester Berry.
Yeah, Lester Berry. Yeah.
Lester Berry. He was hosting. I did LA. The time that I smashed, and I felt like it was one of my better sets, or probably the best set I did, was in Miami. We taped in, it was Comic View Caliente.
Yeah.
And Bruce, and it was the year that Bruce and Arnez.
Yeah.
Yep. And so Arnez hosted my show, but y'all was there. But I went out there. Arnez this Joker was smashing in front of me. And I was nervous as all get out. I was straight up scared. He was hitting so hard. I'm at the door before they put the light behind you to show your shadow.
Right.
I'm at the door and he says something that rips. And I said, man. And the dude opened the door. He said, I know. He's like, woo, you going to have some work from me. I was like, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, I'll never forget it. Like, I was like, how you going to say that to me right before I'm about to go up? But I went up and I just rode the wave. I hit that mud so hard. And I was like, yeah, that was one of the most rewarding times of doing Comic View for sure.
Right. Yep. Like, let me give you my Arnez story. Now, I think I might have talked about this one other time, but I don't know if I ever did it on a platform, but I remember Bruce was hosting and they was trying to figure out how they was going to pass the torch to Arnez.
Mm-hmm.
So they had them came up with this bullshit about Bruce going to fall out the boat out in the swamp or whatever. They done made up a doll and all kind of shit. Arnez came with the idea, you know what? I jump in the water and save him. Okay, now, the day before, we goes out down the water, ride one of them fan boats.
Mm-hmm.
This white boy was driving the shit out of the fan boat. But in the same water, it's black as hell now. They said that they had just seen a 10-foot alligator in this goddamn water. So, before Arnez jumped in the water, we were like, hold on, man, y'all sure? I'm like, look, pimp, hey, man, anybody on here a lifeguard or ever been a lifeguard? Because I can't swim. So if something happened to him, hey, Pimp, you're on your own. I'm telling you that up front. You know what I mean? And it was a couple of people. Yeah, I've been like God. And I can swim. All this. So Arnez jumps in the water. He done forgot he got these thick ass cotton shorts on, like sweatpants back in, the cotton sweatpants.
Yes.
He got these cotton sweat shorts on. So when he jump in the water, they start talking about some shit. So the boat drifting away from him. So when they were like, okay, action, he called himself trying to swim, but them heavy ass shorts, they full of water now. It started weighing him down.
Oh, wow.
All the people that said that they could swim and they were lifeguards, they done got nerves in the motherfucker. I ended up throwing him a rope, and when he grabbed the rope, I snatched his ass up. And when he got to the boat, I said, hey, pimp, I don't know what you're trying to prove, but this shit ain't worth killing yourself over, pimp.
Right.
And he was just like, man, I appreciate it. I say, hey, man, them thick ass shorts you got on, they full of water now. Them motherfuckers finna weigh you down, pimp. Like, God damn, man. I'm like, boy. And everybody had got nerves and everybody like, hey, Black, we appreciate it. Hey, man. Y'all say y'all used to be lifeguards, pimp. Y'all supposed to be prepared for this type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, y'all done froze up. Like, hey.
I ain't ready. That's hilarious. That sounds like something Arnez do, though. You're doing too much.
Yeah. Like, he talented as hell. Sometimes he'll go overboard. He cool as but he'll go overboard in a minute.
Yep. He good people, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, we've been on an hour and 40 minutes, man.
Really?
I appreciate it. Yeah. It's been an hour and 42 minutes, but I know, like, the first 10 minutes I was on here by myself just talking, waiting on you to come, but
no, you had to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta put it in now. So what you got going on now, man? And then give me your tag. People know how to get in touch with you.
Oh, bet. No, so yeah, I am actually a preacher. We actually starting a church. It's right now we got about 30 people meeting in the house, and we starting a church. I want to create a church that is for people like you and me, that everybody can come to. You don't feel judged. Right. You ain't got to. When I preach in my regular clothes. And
okay.
But we also bringing back Holla, bringing that show back, and we're gonna do some social media stuff, some more stuff like this, and having conversations with real people and just people. My thing is, I want to just present real people who love the Lord. Like you ain't got no degree or nothing like that. We're just real people who love the Lord, who just trying to live for Him. And so, so we started a church. It's called True Community Church. True Community. TRU. Yep. We transform, we redeem, we're united in Christ. True Community Church. Yeah. So we doing that. Still telling these jokes, slanging these jokes. Blacktop Improv Group. Again, we doing something in Fairburn end of the month and in June. And you can find me at Comedian C-Dawg. On all these, except for Facebook, they made me change my name, but it's Corwin C-Dawg Oglesby.
Yeah. Like my name used to be Comedian Black Boy until I put together a group called Black Love at the time, and I started putting in people like Dick Gregory, Farrakhan, Dr. Umar Johnson, shit like that. Dr. Boyce Watkins. That's when Facebook had to know my name. That's when they were like, hold on, wait a minute. But that's why I put T Black Boy English. Like,
you
know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man.
No, I appreciate you, pimp. Man, anytime here, man, I'm a phone call away, pimp.
So let's do it again. I thoroughly enjoyed it, man.
Whenever if you want to create a, we doing some everyday things or whatever, pimp. I'm cool with it, man. Like everybody trying to get me back on stage, and like I tell them, man, the game done changed so much.
Oh, most definitely.
I don't even know if I got the energy to try to make a comeback.
I'm with you.
Like I have a to many shows or nothing. Like the shows I go to, I try to get a feel for, and I'd be like, you know what, this shit doesn't change, man. Like,
also, are you like this? I can't pay to go to a comedy show.
No, never will I pay.
Like, yeah.
Never.
And so even if it's somebody like it's people like I would probably want to see, but I can't go pay to go see no comedy show.
Right. Yeah. If it ain't nobody that know me, I won't see them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll wait till your special come out and I'll look at it on TV.
I'll look at it on TV. Exactly. Yeah.
Hey man. So, and
then
I appreciate it, man. I really do. No. And then like I started this to get the people in our class, because like I told you yesterday, it's like we got overlooked.
Yeah.
Bruce and Arnez, Samoa, Monique, Mike Epps, they done had the game on lock for about 25 years.
Yeah.
And they went from them to the internet comedians.
Yeah. Because what people don't, I don't know if people remember this though, or they might even pay no attention, but for us, what happened was you normally you would have a group that would come along. You had people who shine out of that group and they would go take off and do their thing and eventually blow up, do whatever else. And then you would have the next group come along and whoever bubble to the top. But you had, and I don't know if it was Bruce's them class, but in the early 2000s, or it was probably like 2005 to whenever the housing crisis was.
Right.
It actually changed the game. And I remember when where we was making nice, like we was easily getting 700, 1,500 a show,
Right.
And that mug dropped like crazy. And then so Bruce wasn't one of the ones that really dropped like that, but I'm sure his money got affected. But it was other class, like in between him and us,
right?
They came back where they was normally doing theater shows. They came back to the club. And so that kind of pushed us down a little bit to now where we was headlining. We had to now go back down to feature, and the money was terrible.
Hey man, I try to tell people about that shit.
Yeah.
When my work slowed down, Bruce, when I came back and I seen people still getting $75 a show for shows in Atlanta, $100, I'm like, hey man, I can't go back to that.
Yeah.
No, I can't go back. Like, hold on, man. We've been in the game about 15 years, pimp.
Yeah.
How the hell the motherfucker that started out with me still getting $350, $300 a show, like the headline? Yeah. I'm like, hold on, man. That's walkthrough money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Hey, how you doing? Hey, I might do 10 or 15 minutes. Like, even when promoters would call me and ask me to come do some time and, hey man, we'll give you $75 or $100. Like, nigga, no, if I come, I'll come and do it on the strength. I'm not finna let you give me that.
Yeah.
Because once you give it to me, you feel like, I can chump him off every time. Like, no.
Yeah.
And Miss Janelle, no, it wasn't a lot of comedians that reached back. Like you might, cause see, one thing about comedy is you are cool as hell until you get funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the funnier you get, the less motherfucker gonna be your friend, and the more motherfucker gonna hate on you because now you done became competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I say, I never understood why black comedians never told they so-called friends where they just came from. And I'd be like, look, man, a comedy club need comedians every week. You can't be there every week.
Right.
How I'm your boy, but you won't tell me where to go get some money from that you already got.
Yeah.
Yep. Like I never understood that.
I never understood that, but it was a gang of cats. It was a gang of cats who would have a room or something like that, or know where a room was, but wouldn't tell nobody else about it, or they would send just their people.
Right.
And I got many cats that because for a while there, I always had a room.
Right.
Right. And I was always like, come through. It don't matter, and and so, but it was certain cats who ain't never give me no work.
Hell, I can count on my hand how many Atlanta comedians actually gave me some work.
Yeah,
and it might have been one time. Now they used to wet me out, calling me, trying to get some work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I always kept a room too, and they were like, "Hey, Black, let me get in there. Let me pimp." Okay, like I don't like that. Ain't never been me, man.
Right.
That ain't never been me. Now, what really made me stop hanging with a lot of comedians was, you probably remember this too. You remember when comedians were so in competition that me, you, and let's say Larry Lord playing the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a promoter will call you and be like, "Look, hey, what Black at? Man, I don't know where that nigga at, man. Nigga, I'm right beside you."
Yes.
But you'll tell him you don't know where I'm at, then you'll try to say it yourself on the show. Like, shit, what he charge? Man, well, he charged $1,500. I tell you what, I charge $1,000.
Yep.
Like, how you don't? You probably be my boy, but you ain't telling me, motherfucker, looking for me.
Yep.
Like, nigga, if you tell me, nigga, I'm gonna try to get you on the show just for the simple fact that they reached out to you for me.
Exactly.
Hey, man, come on, man. And that's why I never been home with a lot of comedians.
Yeah, and like I get because it was certain people I wouldn't put my name on.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know. Right. I don't know if I can say it, but like especially if you was gonna wild out at the show. Let me just say that.
Yeah, if you're gonna show your ass, yeah.
I put my name on you, So I wasn't gonna ever back Dirty South. But anyway,
I knew that who you were talking
about. I did it once and it backfired on me. So I'm like, I'll never do it again. But like, I wouldn't ever say, I would say, you know, you go book her. Here are information.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, you know, but like, I just never got that. I'm like, work for everybody, you know?
Right.
And if they want you, go do it and then pull me through if you can.
Right.
Yeah. That's what it should always be. And that's what, it ain't enough cats who reach back, you know, and put people on. That's why I like people like Sid, Kevin, you know, it's certain people who put cats on, you know, and
Like I never understood why it be that much drama in comedy. Like people like, well, comedians don't really have no beef. I say, yes, the hell they do. I say, now, if you think I'm lying, look at comedy hype. Like some of these folks got on there and told the shit that they used to go through and the beef that they had that people didn't know shit about.
They didn't know they had,
So comedians been having beef a long time, man. You know what I mean? They've been keeping it on the hush, and see, that's what scares me about the shit that Will Smith did. Our people somebody gonna imitate that shit and start feeling like they can walk up on comedians.
Oh, yeah.
And like I told them, the last few years, like I remember when Steve Brown had that confrontation in the Comedy House. Yeah, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. Avion Crockett, white woman done walked up on him on stage the last couple of years. Like, hey man, this shit getting out of hand, man. You know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna tell y'all now, every comedian you think that can't goddamn put them hands on you, hey, some of them put them hands on you now. You'll be shocked.
Was it
DC Young Fly? I know DC Young Fly. They say he got a hope to somebody that walked up on him on stage.
Did he?
Yeah.
Do you remember back in the day? I don't know if it was Uptown or Comedy Act. I think it was Comedy Act. But somebody walked up on the stage on doo-doo, and he bust him. That's when he used to carry
that malt liquor bottle.
Yes.
Yeah, the old English 800.
Oh, 800, that's what it was. And he busted their head with it.
Damn.
Yep.
Hey, man. Everybody ain't no joke, man.
Everybody ain't no joke. Yep.
But hey, man, I appreciate you. I ain't gonna keep you on here because we'll talk forever. I appreciate you. Yeah. And I tell people, man, a lot of the people that you don't know got some amazing stories.
Yeah, man. You better believe
I don't really care about interviewing celebrities. Y'all can see them anywhere. I like to interview people that you don't hear about.
Yep.
Because they got a story too. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate you, man.
We can bring on some other people. We can tell some old road stories.
Right. Like I would love to interview Rodney Perry, Tim Murray. I want to interview Tim Murray because he's another Decatur alumni. You know, I love you, Laugh Love, and Tia Murray. Y'all, hey man, that deck, hey man. You know, I represent that deck hard. So
you better believe. So.
Like I would love to interview Ray Grant. Goddamn. If you can get them in touch with me, let me know. I would love to.
Yeah, I'll put us on.
Pat Brown. I would love to interview Pat.
We can make it happen. We can make it happen.
Yeah, hey man, I'm saying you put it together, we can do it together. Like I would, we can do it together. Just let me know when and whatever day is cool, pimp. So it don't matter. You just let me know.
Cool.
But I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, and you be easy, man.
You too, man. Let's do it.
All right, pimp. All right.